So Regenesis is the process of midwifing and rebirthing the human condition on all levels. If we take a moment to consider the concept that it invokes an image of letting go of all that doesn't work personally, socially, and globally, and allowing that to be compost for an innovative approach to build, design, and architect the future that we truly want. We must focus on every aspect of the life experience, from spirituality to art and culture, the environment and stewardship of it, health and wellness of spirit, mind, and body, the idea of alternative economic and governance models, green and renewable energy, appropriate science and technology, independent media and communications, and peace and justice.
So I'd like to welcome everybody to our weekly general production meeting, which is also usually focused more on what's happening with the event around production, presenters, information, and infrastructure. So I want to welcome everyone again. If everyone could have their microphone off. There will be more people I know for sure coming into the room, but this is our weekly Earthstock Eco Spiritual Summit weekly Zoom. Again, we're going to move very quickly for those of you who are just joining us. Take a deep breath and put your seatbelt on, because we're already going global, and we just started really promoting. This is actually, today is the culmination of about 3 or 4 months of meetings, including some of us who participated in the 8th Fire Eagle Condor gathering in Palenque, Mexico. So the idea today is to identify a few things. Who's new? And we're going to start by everyone who is new or has never emailed us, putting information into the chat. But I want to welcome everyone. Very exciting. A lot of dynamic things are happening. And with that, I'm going to give it to Tina Marie, who is our head of onboarding people. And with that, I'm going to put information in the chat. And again, please, everyone, have your microphones off.
Happy Tuesday,
Welcome,
everybody.
Tina Marie.
Thank you. So glad to be here tonight with you all. If you are new, or this is the first time that you have been in a meeting with us, then please send your email, your phone number, and your name into the chat for me, please. And I look forward to hearing all about all the new developments.
Great. Thank you so much, Tina Marie. If you could continue to put the website into the chat. And the other thing I'd like you to do while we're talking and getting to know who's in the room, and we will get to everyone, and we're going to do this in under an hour. So if you could continue to put into the chat the invitation to participate letter, and also the invitation to support 2 PDF letters, that would be helpful, along with the website link. So before we really get going, because everything we do is coming from a spiritual center, and everything that we do includes all of your various regenerative skill sets, that we want to always honor the traditional and indigenous people. So to start with, I'm going to invite grandmother Gail Thomas, who is one of the facilitators of the Grandmothers Council, and also part of our Wisdom Keep Council. So welcome, Gail Thomas. Could lead an opening, that would be wonderful.
Thank you so much, Michael. I'm happy to see everybody and happy to be here. And so I would love to open us up with gratitude for all that we've accomplished together at this time. And in our way, we hold on to what we're grateful for. So join me, please, in this song from Grandma Grace Black Elk of gratitude.
Thank you so much, Grandmother Gail. And I do want to mention that Grandmother Gail is part, again, of our, for those of you who are new, we have a Wisdom Keepers Circle, so that we can have the benefit of advisorship from various members of indigenous communities and spiritual traditions. So she's also one of the foundational members of our Grandmothers Council, which basically helps to advise the Wisdom Keepers and the general body of the event. So more than just an event, I think people can see that we're really architecting this in alignment with a lot of traditional and ancient knowledge, so that we can do things in a good way, but also that we can have the benefit of spiritual advisorship of a sacred hoop as we all come together in unity. There's a lot of coherence and ways that we've been doing work over the last few months. So really, it's a great honor to be here today. I do want to introduce a couple other key people very briefly. I want to introduce Nan Claudia and James. They are both part of the actual production of the event. And also Nan Claudia is also within our Wisdom Keeper Circle, with her work as a Mayan initiate from Guatemala, and also her work in the Grandmothers Council. So welcome, Nan Claudia.
Thank you, Michael. Good to see everyone this week.
That's fine. We're not doing a deep dive right now. We're just making sure new people know what's happening. People are able to onboard with Tina Marie, and we have a sense of who's coming in the room, because there's also people right now that we're doing every part of the week. We're doing also different roundtable discussions. We're not just showing up for 7 days and leaving. This is more than a one-off event. This is really a movement of consciousness and unity and collaboration and cooperation. So thank you so much for showing up. So I want to introduce a couple other key people, and then we're going to continue to go through the list. I want to part of doing this event, of course, some people will be with us in Crestone, and I know a lot of you have questions. Again, I put the website into the chat, and I will say Tina Marie is available to answer questions right now if you have some. We want to make sure when we leave the group we're coherent, but part of this event is not only in Crestone, but connecting global hubs right now in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Central South America. So the person that I'm in collaboration with and who brings a lot to the table, I want to introduce Michael Kraus from the Unify Network, who also has his own organizations and initiatives. So welcome, Michael Kraus.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for introducing me. And I'm just busy in the kitchen cooking, actually. Here to serve, here to listen, here to be present.
Can you just share for a quick minute about what Unify does?
Well, Unify is an organization, a global peace organization that started the first global synchronized meditation in 2012. And so throughout the year, we facilitate, support events that have ideally global impact and are on reaching high levels of consciousness and harmony and coherence around the planet. And we have 2.5 million followers on Facebook, which could be considered a vanity metrics, but we've been working with many spiritual organizations, environmental organizations, and peace organizations over the last 12 years, and I am the director of social media.
I don't know what you're eating, brother, but you look good. You look lit. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Whenever I'm around food and I prepare food, it to me this is pure meditation and bliss, and so that's why I might look happy. Or my hair is are you referring to my?
I don't know. You have the whole pack of spirit, mind, body going on.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. So I want to introduce, we have about 30 people in the room right now, and we're going to get through this really quick. I know that connection can be sometimes an issue in Colombia. So I want to welcome our sister, Luciana Calibri, who's not only been doing consultations with Kogi, but we're very committed to having her here in Colorado to present her work. But she's also the person that's helping to anchor our weekly hub for Mexico, Central and South America. So I want to welcome all the way from Colombia, Luciana Calibri.
Thank you, Michael. Blessings, greetings, brothers, sisters, and friends. Yes, I'm Luciana Colibri from Colombia, Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta. I'm here weaving from this territory the prayers and the intention to be with all of you in Colorado, Crestone, for the gathering, presenting some of the midwife work that I've been learning from the elders, and the nature reconnection call for all of us. So thank you so much for having me in this weaving. A whole blessing.
Absolutely. And we hope to do more. One thing that's been exciting with many of you and Luciana, especially, is we're talking about this idea of all of us getting together for these 7 days. Some of us will be together for 12 days. We'll be arriving on Wednesday, the 14th, but the long-term vision, the work, the weaving, the collaboration, and the mending of the sacred hoop. And she carries a very essential and key component to that. So I want to introduce a brother of mine from Sacramento in a minute, but I want to just make sure that we get to a couple of key people. I want to welcome Shannon MacArthur, and Shannon has, taken the torch of associate producer, and she's organizing every morning these collaborative and sparkling conversations, she calls them, around the various themes of the day. So if Tina Marie, could you put into the chat the theme for each of the days so people know? But I want to welcome Shannon MacArthur, who represents many organizations. So welcome, Shannon.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. It's so exciting to be a part of what's going on here. I am part of Humanity Rising. I moderate the after chat, and it is from the database of almost 1,500 people who have presented on Humanity Rising that I am gathering presenters or participants for the sparkling conversations that will be in alignment with the themes of the day that Tina Marie is going to post for us. And I have yeses for Thursday I've got 4 of them. And I'm working on the other days. And I have cherry picked people, and rather than doing a blanket outreach. I want to honor the people by not,
Great. Thank you. And could you share very quickly, we had a conversation with Conversation CC, because one of the exciting things that's happening besides the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. broadcast of events from around the world, including Crestone, there's going to be potentially an open space for ongoing roundtables and conversations. Could you just share for a moment about that?
Well, that would be a pleasure. I open Gaia's Zoom room every Tuesday night at the top of the hour after this. And that is held at theconversation.cc, and they provide free Zoom rooms with unlimited time. And so I have connected Jamin Shively and Marco Elsterman from theconversation.cc with Michael, and it has turned into, it's going to be much bigger than I thought, because it was only supposed to be an hour after the 2 hours of the sparkling conversations. And this is how it grows.
Beautifully. So again, the whole week we're going to be weaving community together from all around the world. And I will say again, every week, I'll put the schedule in the chat, but every week we have a communication with our hub, our family in Europe, all doing amazing projects in Africa, in Asia with Haidai and Bali, and also now with Taiwan, and also with Australia. But of course, a lot of our family that we're all very connected to from Mexico, Central and South America. So in talking about that, we actually, again, we have councils that are forming right now to help bring together and we get more effective. And Luciana is actually, we just had a meeting this weekend with her and Felipe and Adam Yellowbird. And what we've decided to do is we are launching, out of the necessity, a Wisdom Keeper, Weaver, and Bridge group to help support directly the wisdom keepers and elders, different spiritual leaders that'll be coming. That's a whole other dynamic of protocol and how we're going to do things like video and photography and respect ceremony. We're not going to broadcast everything. Some things need to happen behind closed doors. But I want to introduce, I know she's been working on the Eagle and Condor film, and she's freshly back from Colombia, my neighbor in New Mexico. I want to welcome Kamiko. So welcome. Your mic's off, maybe.
While we're waiting for them, please, if you're new to the meeting, please put your information in the chat.
Are you there, Kamiko? If not, we'll move on. Okay, so I also want to mention another person that was with us in Palenque at Eagle and Condor 8th Fire Gathering. And I will say Chief Phil Lane Jr. has committed his support for the event to bring the message of unity from the Eagle and Condor Council from Palenque. And we will be doing a sacred 8th fire. So with that, I want to welcome the winner of the Jaguar Award for selfless service to the Eagle and Condor Sacred Mission. I want to welcome all the way from Slovenia, Alenka Slavenik. So welcome, Alenka. You there?
Hi. Just a second, I need the light. I didn't know
Your
I
camera's
was
off.
speaking. Hi. Just a moment. Okay. Can you hear me? Hi, everybody.
Yep,
Here
thank
is
you.
night. I was in the bed, so I just want to say hi to everybody. And I'm very excited to this event and our community. It's nice to see many people I know from Zoom now, and I'm very keen for coming there and support in many ways. Yeah. What should
Fantastic.
I say?
Thank you. And we have some special, well, no, that's fine. We have some special things. Alenka is going to be doing an exhibit of her amazing art, and we'll learn more about that. We need to keep some mystery here, but thank you for being awake, and I look forward to seeing you on our Europe call later in the
It's my
week. So thank you
birthday.
so much. Good to see you. What? Oh my God. All right, everyone
Yeah.
blow up the chat with happy birthday for
That's
Alenka.
why I am up, because I was just getting like, you know, champagne open and stuff.
Oh my God, you're living the dream. Awesome. So thank you. So we're
Thank you.
gonna keep moving on. We're
Yeah,
gonna keep
yeah,
moving
thank
on. I don't know.
you. All the
Great,
best.
thank you. Is Kamiko here? Okay, maybe not. So we're going to keep moving on. I want to, and I promised him because he has limited time. Part of the weekly meetings, again, besides all of the continents except Iceland and Greenland, Antarctica, we also have our wisdom keepers, our grandmother council, now our wisdom keeper, Bridger and Weaver council. But our brother Richard Parisi has shown up. He does a lot of work around the divine masculine. He's the founder of God Cards. He does a lot of stuff, and now he's offered to do a weekly roundtable on Mondays, and I'll let him talk about it as far as his work with the divine masculine. So welcome, Richard Parisi from Sacramento, California.
There seems to be a growing call for the divine masculine to show up, and you know, we always know what we do want by all the things that we don't want. And there seems to be a lot of conversation about this toxic masculine idea. And from my perspective and the work I've done, I see that the toxic masculine is really the shadow side of divine masculine. And that's something we like to explore in a divine masculine roundtable starting Monday nights from here through the Earthstock event and beyond, perhaps. And so we're going to do Monday nights at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. We have a little blurb we're going to send out, and certainly open to the divine masculine component. And I think it should be open to all, both genders, all gender, to help give some grounding and some exploration into how divine masculine and what archetypes of divine masculine can show up and help ground Earthstock and into our communities, and to expand the divine masculine presence in our communities, in our life, and in the world. So I'm hoping to bring that and anchor that, and that's kind of my life's work coming in on that. And look forward for those that can join us starting Monday evenings. Certainly want to lean into the wisdom council of men, the younger men, all men, and especially some, you know, of the women to show up and just to help us detangle this divine masculine from the toxic masculine, and in what ways we as a group of men supporting Earthstock can show up in our divine masculine archetypes, because there are hundreds of them, and not be toxic, but bring our power and true vitality through the divine masculine. Aho.
Great, thank you, Richard. And I did just put into the chat for everyone to see the image. I want to say Richard is also the founder of the God Cards. It's a divine oracle deck for the archetypes of divine masculine. So I know it's a big topic, but he's also been doing this work for a long time. So again, thank you, Richard. We will come back to the video at the end. Another person that I met personally in Palenque that's doing amazing work around what's called the constellation, where she helps facilitate what wants to be communicated in the field beyond what we're all coming to share about our work, and you know how we present ourselves, like in this great unity, what wants to be expressed. So I want to welcome to our weekly meeting, I want to welcome Diana Clear.
Thank you, Michael, and I'm delighted to be here. I'm Diana Clare, and I am part of the Hague Center for Global Governance, Innovation and Emergence, and also the Hague Center for Field Inquiry. And we just love doing the process, experiential and embodied process of what we call constellating for the collective. And I'm hoping that that's going to happen at Earthstock, either in person or online. But there's many topics we could explore. We did it at Palenque on what is the divine feminine's role in the manifestation of the fulfillment of the prophecy of the eagle, condor, quetzal, and hummingbird. And the divine masculine, Michael was representing that, certainly was part of that whole exploration, and we have more to do. So thank you.
Absolutely. So good to see you. And I do want to say we're going to circle back around for questions and input and have like more of a open discussion, but we want to make sure that in the time we have, everybody voices is heard. So speaking of voices of being heard, I think her mic's working now. We want to go back and re-welcome Dana Tomasino.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Aloha, everyone. So I'm excited to be sharing some of my different backgrounds and skills. I'm a researcher and practitioner of heart math. I was at heart math for many years, so I'm going to be sharing my skills in heart coherence and also presenting on the science and practice of heart intelligence and emotional evolution. And I'm also going to be sharing my work in sacred sound and music, which is something that I've been very passionate about in more recent years. And I create what I call sacred sound infusions using my voice and also layering other instruments and tracks. And I'm going to be sharing some of that inspired sound infusions at the concerts, and also as part of the global meditation, where we do a heart coherence meditation for the planet and anchor that with these higher dimensional frequencies through sound. And then also Michael and I were discussing the idea that every day, perhaps every morning, we could open with a brief heart coherence meditation on a different theme every day, and followed by a sacred sound infusion, kind of like a beautiful sound bath and heart coherence field building activity that everyone could come together in that way to build the field for the day. And throughout the event, that would help to really build a very strong, amplified, coherent heart field. And so that's part of what I'm going to be bringing. And one other thing I wanted to say, I forgot what it was. I'm currently working on a new sound infusion, almost finished with it. It's called Aria. It's on it's embodying the element of air, the energy of the element of air. And I know there was something else, but maybe I'll come back to it if I remember.
Great. Thank you so much, Dana. So going down the list too, again, I know there's a lot of people here. A lot of people, I will say, have been here for many months, dropping in and helping to weave, inviting people. I want to just say in the chat right now, we're going to be putting together invitations. Like if you know special people that want to be supported. I mean, right now we just found out that Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden will be right up the road from us on the 24th and 25th. So we're extending an invitation to just come a few miles away during the week and hang out with the family. You know, we do know some of these people get a highly, large fees to make appearances. But this, again, I want to say, people are always saying, who's your headliner? And I'm like, you're the headliner, because we're all a sacred and essential part to weaving this hoop, to mending the hoop, to bring back the unity that we need at this time. We're also reaching out to many other people. I don't want to drop names, but if you know of someone that you really feel their voice needs to be heard, we're going to put an invitation to participate letter into the chat. And I do want to say, we originally had closed registration just about a week ago. We are gently closing it. So if you haven't registered, now is the time. If you know someone who needs to have their voice heard, feel free to send that invitation to participate letter. It also has the registration link. But, if people contact us a month from now, we've had over 100 people apply and register to present at the event. And that's not even including the 30 people here from Crestone. So, and many of the wisdom keepers who maybe haven't filled out forms or do things kind of in that more, North American way of doing things. So I really want to emphasize, and if again, since people are coming into the room more, if Tina Marie could put up the link for registration and the website again. The website's live, tickets are on sale, accommodations are booking. And at the end, I want to come around full circle because right now there's a core of about 25 people that we have accommodations and we have meals already set up for you waiting. And we need to get through our MOUs, our memorandums of understanding this week. So we know all the particulars to have the integrity around energy equity and sacred reciprocity, and to make sure we have more resources. I will say we are in the process of more fundraising because the event has gone well beyond what and originally planned for, but is moving more towards what we have been anticipating. So with that, I'm looking at the list, a couple more people. I want to welcome, actually all the way from Australia, I want to welcome Helene Miskosker. So welcome, Helene.
Hi, g'day everyone. Jingala. It's Helen McCosker, but I did learn French as a child, so I'm happy to be called Helene as well. Thank you so much, Michael. I am, as Michael said, from Australia. I was on the last call and I've been on a couple of calls. I am the founder of a charity called Carbonate, and we help farmers transition to regenerative agriculture. 60% of Australian landscape is actually managed and stewarded by farmers. So we feel that the farmers are at the front line of making real change to bring our ecosystems back, to bring our waterways back, to bring all of our birds and our threatened species back. So we have an extraordinary project that we're undertaking called our Totem Project. And what we want to do is identify our totem animals across Australia so that our farmers can protect these really special animals and plants. So it's a really wonderful way that farmers can get directly involved in understanding and connecting back to our country and back to our history. So we're really proud of that. I also have spent some time with Connie when she was in Australia, and it was so wonderful to spend time with her and Andrew. And she came and stayed with Uncle Lewis Walker, our very revered elder, and I'm hoping to bring him. I invited him to come, but he can't actually make it. But I'd love him to be what he calls live and direct through the Zoomerang. So thank you. I think that's probably, I know there's a lot of other people that need to speak, so that's probably me for now. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So much potential weaving together, and even beyond that, as we're starting to, find each other and bring these elements together. So with that, I want to welcome Connie and Andrew. I also want to say that many of you are in the general threads are proposing films. And again, because of the nature of doing a global event with potentially 400 to 500 participants and people around the world, we actually have specific threads if you want to submit films that you would like to show or you want to recommend films. So as Connie and Andrew talk about their work, I'm going to post into the chat if you want to join one of those threads and propose films. We just have to do it in an organized way. Getting hundreds of emails coming to one email about everything under the sun is way too much of a workload for Tina Marie and myself. And I want to welcome some other admin people that have showed up to help. But I want to welcome Connie and Andrew.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be here, you all, and we're just looking forward to being an integral part of all this with our trust frequency work, our indigenous cosmology, quantum science synthesis on the conscious, loving, abundant nature of the universe and humanity's place in it as a prophecy and for the future culture visions, and also doing a workshop with Maureen Edwardson to clear the way for accessing higher vibrations, higher frequencies, and also screening our film, our Down Under teaser that we're creating, as well as our first film, In Search of the Future, What Do the Wise Ones Know? We've been sharing Indigenous cosmology for the future of humanity for 30 years, both of us, independently before we met. And now as a team, Spirit brought us together to do that. So I'm sorry Andrew's not here, but we send blessings and love to all and just can't wait.
Fantastic. So speaking about indigenous wisdom, and it's exciting because what's happening now, I just spent the weekend with Adam Yellowbird here in Crestone. We did work with the land. We're preparing the space. We actually put up the Thunder Lodge teepee on the property that I steward. And there's already amazing things happening. Like even in those 3 days, it was like a universe of potentiality got explored and expanded. And now Adam is part of the Wisdom Keeper group and also the Wisdom Keeper Weaver and Bridger. So I want to be very respectful of as these groups emerge, that there are actually some a mission and there are some protocols. So with that, I want to welcome back to the Southwest, live from Colombia all the way to New Mexico. I see she's back on the call. We want to welcome Kamiko.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much, Michael. I quite literally just landed to Phoenix. Me and my partner, my husband, he's from the Amazon, from the Secopai tribe in the northern Ecuadorian rainforest where we have our home. And we just left on a 2-day journey and finally landed here in the Southwest, so close to you guys in Colorado. We're going to make our way up to Sedona and we'll be here for the next few months. And yeah, I'm super excited to be able to support and be of service. I met Michael in Palenque with the other Indigenous delegates and leaders and Chief Elaine, and have been part of the 8th Fire movement. And Adam Yellowbird is a good friend of mine. I've known him for about a decade, and I'm also weaving different worlds between North, Central, and South America, as well as for my roots, I'm Japanese. My father's from Kumamoto, Japan, and I was actually born in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I was so excited when I met Michael because I feel there's a movement happening to connect the four corners, especially Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. As we know, there's really, no borders. It's just an invisible sort of illusion that we have these, lines that separate us, but really as one bioregion, the Colorado River connects all of our territories, and we all rely on this for life, and the animals and the birds and the plants. So I feel that this gathering is going to really bring together the energy and the people and the alliances for a purpose much bigger than what we could possibly maybe imagine even right now. Because as we bring together our energies and our different works and things that we're doing, I feel there's going to be new seeds planted, and there's going to be new things that are going to come for the long term, not just as Michael's envisioned, of course, not just, it's not just a gathering, it's something much more beyond that. And I really feel that and I honor it. So I'm here to be of service. I've been working for over a decade with Indigenous elders. I've done other gatherings. Unify in Santa Fe was about 5 years ago. We brought different delegates, Cosmic Convergence in Guatemala, and I've taken a little bit of some time from production and I've been doing filmmaking. But this gathering is so dear to my heart because it's in the South, the homeland, the Southwest of the US. And I feel so called to be able to support because of the territory, where I was born as well. So I told Michael I'm happy to be a liaison and a weaver. I'm good friends with the Hopi and Ruben and Ukwala and some Zuni elders in New Mexico, and I feel it would be just absolutely phenomenal to bring some grandmothers and different people from New Mexico and Arizona, and I feel that's sort of my offering, as well as I speak fluent Spanish and I work with tribes, in South America for some time, so I feel that's where I can be of service, and in any other way, logistically, I do have, one of my aspects is event production. So I've had quite a bit of experience doing that, but particularly in the side of ceremony and kind of ceremony protocols, ceremony etiquette, making sure the elders feel accommodated. I don't want to take up too much time, but that's my introduction. So many blessings to each one of you guys, and count on me however I can be of support. I'm so happy that this is coming together for such a huge mission. So thank you guys so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Kimiko. I know you've been busy down in the jungle and making the film, but we, from the moment we met and even before I heard your name, we knew that we're bringing very essential and foundational pieces together. One part, and again, we have committed that Chief Phil, whether he's here personally or not, is supporting. He will be involved. The 8th Fire Eagle Condor work. Many of the people from that council will be at the event, including also Marcello Zaiduni from Bolivia, our brother Hector Benton from Mexico, Nan Claudia, and others. And again, others that were there have started to build their councils. And I will say it's a very essential skill set to have what we call wisdom keepers, weavers, and bridges that know protocol to work respectfully with the wisdom keepers and the elders. And also that we have very clear protocol around ceremony. I'm going to ask if someone could send the link to Marcello. He just messaged me about if he could have the link. That would be wonderful. But again, when Adam came here, we realized that the circle of people, there's all these circles and hoops that are coming together. The most important thing is we're coming together to find common ground and unity. And to also, and Tina Marie's putting in the chat, a big part of Sunday, if you look right now, we're starting the day with Hawaiian elders to do a global reconciliation ceremony. So we can put all of the injuries, the insults, the harm, the trauma behind us. If we can't heal the trauma, it's really hard for us to move forward. So we're starting the day with a global reconciliation ceremony, the sacred 8th fire, also a sacred hoop ceremony, and then followed by what we're calling the drums around the world, which many people are already signing up to be part of this global day for drumming. I will say very quickly, without taking too much space, thank you, whoever's getting back to Marcello. He was looking for that connection. That in 1994, we did World Unity Festival. I was working with the Hopi elders, Thomas Banyaka, David Manunge, John Titus, and many others. And of course, many people know about the Hopi prophecy. But at that time when we did it, 1992, the Earth Summit, meeting Arba Looking Horse, the Earth Summit in Brazil, the connection to the Earth Summit to Crestone, because the Strongs are the ones who procured that land for stewardship to kind of start a new Earth community. Green building, self-sustainable at the foot of these sacred mountains. And of course, I know Kimiko and others might actually, and here comes Marcello, that part of the Hopi prophecy is about these gatherings, these sacred comings together of the 4 directions from all around the world will be coming together, from the north, the south, east, and west, the red, black, white, yellow, and red, the grandmothers and the youth and the elders. So I'm not saying this is a prophecy. I'm just saying this prophecy is about that. So in 94, when we did it, 20,000 people showed up, and Chief Phil Lane Jr. was there. On August 20th, that was the day miracle. The first in many years, a white buffalo was born, symbolizing the rise and the reemergence of the divine feminine. On that day, Chief Phil Lane came out and shared a ceremony of earth staking at that gathering with all the people who had come there to stake a real commitment, a real follow through promise to protect the earth and to work together in unity at this time of Koyaanisqatsi, where the world seems out of balance, so that we can all come together, the masculine, the feminine, all nations in this time of unity, to bring balance. And how this all started to happen is, again, 8 months ago, Phil and others reached out to me. I was living quietly in Crestone, but we know Crestone is within the 4 sacred mountains of Mount Blanca, which is our neighbor here, dozens of hot springs, 20 spiritual centers, the Rio Grande, and also between the Mount Humphrey, San Francisco peaks to home of the Kachinas, and Flagstaff, Arizona, Mount Hesperus. So again, there's a very special nature of this place. It's not just we're renting a facility and doing an event. It's really, most of the event will happening outside and on the land. So we're going to continue to get through the call here. Thank you everyone for your patience, but very exciting. If you're interested in more about Sunday, and again, the event, we put in the link, including the invitation to participate. So with that, I'd like to welcome from Bolivia, from Bolivia, I want to welcome Marcello Zaiduni. So welcome, brother. I don't know if your microphone is off.
No, awesome. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi from
You sound
Bolivia.
good.
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Well, my microphone is okay. Thank you for this meeting, and thank you all from four corners. I know someone of the people who are here, and I'm very glad to be part of this organization. So Michael asked me to prepare the the council of the elders to make some rituals
Yeah, that's it.
in the gathering, and also prepare some stuff, bringing from the south, from Bolivia to the north, some things that we use it in our rituals, and we can share with all of you and our ancestral knowledge and our traditional medicine and all of the stuff we use as here at the south. I live in the mountains and in the high mountains of the Himalaya. This is the Himalaya land near the Lake Titicaca and very close to Tiwanaku. It's just 1 hour from here. And we have our own culture, the Aymara language of my grandmother and my mother. And I am part of the council of the elders from the Four World Foundation in with Chief Phil Lane and the council of the Eagle and Condor. Also the council of the grandfathers and grandmothers of the Mother Earth. So we combine all that work for make our tradition keep alive and to bring our knowledge all around the world to heal the mother nature and to heal all the beautiful community that we are as a rainbow warrior tribe. So all the colors are welcome, all the nations are welcome, all the people. So we must to be a beautiful family, a beautiful brotherhood, and I will be very, very happy to be with you and Colorado. Very short time. It's not long time. We will be in together, and I am here to help any way that Michael and all of you need it. We will bring our staff to heal the persons, and anything you need it, as our ancestors' way. I am a traditional medicine man and a healer. I say a Yatiri, a Mauta is our name in our language. So I died 3 times in my life and I returned from the dead. And I am something like to be the blue deer. That's my name in our language is Taruka Larama. And my name is the blue deer. So I live half of the time in the other in the other side, and sometimes I'm here. I'm glad to be with you, and I will be very glad to share with all of you my love and all my I say all my compassion and I'm a pray with all of you. Thank you. With love.
Thank you, hello. Thank you.
Halalia for the life.
See, you came on now to make us all cry. So, I want to say all the spiritual energy that's part of this event, all the connectivity, and also all the solutionaries, all the people that are coming that are doing the work around regenerative agriculture, green technology, education, ceremony, media. All these things take resources. So I'm very excited. Last week, I happened to go to Sedona very randomly, and I met someone. And then in the last couple of days, they just pledged a large sum of money and support. So I'm bringing that up because it takes a lot of energy to make something like this happen. A few people are asking in the chat. I just put in the invitation to participate general. We put in the invitation the invitation for wisdom keepers to participate. And there is a protocol around that. I don't want to get too sloppy, but if you know people in your mind right now that are coming to your consciousness, this is really the last moments to make we can actually invite them and that they're able to attend. So I know that, again, Wi-Fi connection can sometimes be a problem. I want to acknowledge our next presenter and also co-producer. I met him in 2012 at the pyramids of Chichen Itza at the temple of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent. And since then, he has taken his vision and put it into organization with an organization called Gaia Union. So I'd like to welcome from Colombia our brother Felipe. Are you there, Felipe? Your mic on? Maybe Felipe had to step away. So we'll come back. So I want to say next person I'd like to just have everyone get to know. He's doing an amazing project in Puerto Rico. Talk about land stewardship, New Earth, bringing back the sacred. I'd like to welcome our brother Jerry Anderson, who I know through Standing Rock and the Water Protector work. So welcome, Jerry.
Oh, it is a joy to be together with such a group, collaborating together and bringing all of our different skills and talents to the same efforts so that this vision that Michael brought to the earth and seems to be orchestrated by the angels can come to be. Yes, our project is a monastery in Puerto Rico, and most people say, we don't need another monastery. Well, we do. This new monastery is the first monastery on the planet that combines monastic understanding and indigenous wisdom in the same monastery. And we're specifically focused to a type of individual that boils down to 5 words, and see if you're the same. Highly sensitive, empathic, mature souls. Highly sensitive, highly sensitive, empathic. I used to say old souls, but I like mature souls. and I'm laughing, but at the same time, these are the people who are committing suicide on this planet right now. They've came with a very high spiritual mission, and they're not used to this kind of world where it's a dog eat dog and see who survives the process. And so we're making a sanctuary. We've been gifted and blessed with 10,000 acres of sacred property in Puerto Rico. This is the actual area that all of the mythologies that take place in the Caribbean came from. The river is called the Tanama River. And on our property, which it flows 19.2 kilometers through, are you ready for this, folks? 3 times our river goes through a mountain on our property. So we're very excited. We've already received ecclesiastic sovereignty for our country, being recognized by the United Nations, and quite a few other steps going on. So really excited to bring together and help and bring land for our projects. Oftentimes need land. So thank you, Michael, and blessings to all the tribe here.
Amazing. I mean, we're still 2.5 months away, and just how this is all building is incredible. I want to say, for continued connectivity, I just put into the chat, you should definitely be either on the Telegram group, the WhatsApp group, or on the Facebook group, because there's so much that we want to share in the limited time that we all spend together every week. We want to know the work that each other are doing. And I will say, we're at a time of incredible transformation and also purification. So whether it's all of us actualizing projects, whether we're helping humanity, or we're also being called to know where our own and food and water security comes from. And as Jerry is, get back to the garden, get back to the simplicity of things. I do want to say, honestly, this is not in any way, shape, or form a Michael thing, in any way, shape, or form related to my Earthstock Foundation, this is part of our work. The idea of just seeing in the field the yearning and the need for unity and us all coming together, and not just unity as a philosophy or a spiritual ideal, but how can we ground our spirituality in this unity? And again, this goes to things like the feathered serpent, Kukulkan, that we're understanding that the material world, that nature, physical things is not separate from the spiritual world, that we are united and connected. So I just want to say, every day I'm handing off more and more of what I've been trying to help midwife and facilitate to more than competent teams of people to do the work. So I just want to say I appreciate the acknowledgement. It keeps me going through 16, 18-hour days. But this is absolutely a living testimonial. This is a we thing. So again, I just wanted to thank Jerry for acknowledging that, but also just put it in perspective, because and I talk to a lot of people. This is not about one tribe, one chief, one person, one race, one gender. This is truly a coming together. And just this little glimpse of this group is a testimonial to that work. So I want to welcome again, emissaries, visionaries, solutionaries, advocates, and activists, artivists are showing up from every direction right now for this gathering in the Four Sacred Corners. I want to welcome Lisa Ayers, who came through Shannon MacArthur and has shown up to be an incredible help. She actually helped to re-edit and forge our ask, which is very hard for me. We're asking for funding and financial support right now so we can continue to expand. Right now, there is a core of people through the MOUs and others that we're committed to. We have the funding for lodging and accommodations and meals. Some people will be here for 4 days, some 7, some will be here for 12 days. But we know that all of these things take resources. So I want to welcome and thank Lisa Ayers for helping to kind of help craft the letter asking for support. So welcome, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I helped to craft the letter, and I'm helping to craft some more letters to come as well. And I'm very happy to do that. Right now, I'm bringing my project management and event creation skills to help the team. And I am currently putting together the background schedule so that we can have all our information in one spot. And I don't know, Michael, if you want to talk about that right now, or if we want to talk about it later.
I think it is worth mentioning because, again, we're still in the final week of all the negotiations and details about sacred reciprocity. What can we offer? What are your needs? And when we can clarify the intention and what needs are, then the spirit will be able to provide the next step. But if we're not clear, if we're vague, if we're in 200 directions and we're not focused, like, I want to be in Crestone, I want to be at Earthstock, this is what I need, or I want to be part of the broadcast, which is another essential piece. I wish we could just fly everyone from all over the world. We'd have thousands of people, but practically and logistically so, that Lisa is creating a workflow for presenters for the event. So I'm going to ask right now if she'd like to, and I don't want to blow her email up. I'm very much trying to firewall people from not being overwhelmed, but she's stepped up to say, hey, listen, I can help aggregate some of this stuff for the website and the program. So I'm going to let Lisa talk a little bit more about that and share her information. But I want to make sure before you do that, that you feel confident that you're confirmed, so we don't have to make her job more difficult. So again, back to Lisa, who's helping to organize all of the media and content, et cetera. So.
Thank you. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get into the real nitty-gritty details, which is not the specialty of many of us creative folks and us spiritual folks, but it happens to be one of mine. So I will be using a project management tool, and that tool is called Asana, if anyone has heard of it. Yeah, it's a fantastic tool, but it falls apart very quickly if we have too many cooks in the kitchen. So I am keeping it close to my own heart and I'm happy to collect information and drop it all into the right spots. So I'm going to share what would be ideal for you to send to me when the time comes. And that is, once you've confirmed your MOU, everything is solidified. And before July 1st, you're going to please send me your name and title, or your credentials, how you want to be presented in our marketing materials, your headshot, your 25-word bio, the name of your workshop and the time slot so I know where to put it, and your website link. And you send that all to me in one email is ideal. But if for any reason, if you need to send me duplicate emails, please make sure to give me the workshop name and time slot. So, because that's how I will know where it goes. And I'm putting it in the chat now, how you get a hold of me, okay? And then I'm also on the WhatsApp chats, and I'm on the Facebook Messenger chat as well. So if you have information that needs to be updated or changed, you're welcome to go ahead and get a hold of me. All right. I hope that makes sense.
Amazing. So again, we're doing this as a team, and every single person doing one piece is, I mean, this is such, again, an eloquent expression of unity in action and on a global level. I want to, since we're kind of talking about what happens in Crestone and also what we're calling the satellite events, I'm going to ask Tina Marie to put into the, and again, please just look at the website. Don't bombard us with questions that are just take 10 or 15 minutes of your bandwidth going to the website. But every day has a specific flow. Again, of 9 to 11, Shannon MacArthur's doing the collaborative, the Sparkling Conversations. Then we're going to be broadcasting from Latin America and Europe because of time zones. 1 to 6:30, Earthstock from Crestone, and in the evening focusing on Asia and Australia because we're taking all those time zones into consideration. So I also want to mention Lisa does other work, and she's world renowned for walking around carrying the Northern Lights behind her. So
yes,
many elements to her. We won't take time to dive into that. I know we're getting up close to our finishing time, but there's a few more people we want to make sure are heard. Any other questions or comments, please put in the chat. We have a very competent team of people who can get you the materials that you need. So I want to welcome another media person. The other day we had our broadcast meeting on Friday. And if you look on the website, we actually have a list of all of our weekly meetings. And I want to say, you know, you don't have to attend all of them. You don't have to do the Earthstock Summit Marathon just to know what group you're in. You know, Latin America, Europe, the general group on Tuesdays. Are you in the Invitational Wisdom Keepers? Are you a Wisdom Weaver? But part of it is the broadcast and production team that meets on Friday. And the other day we had it was outrageous. I think we had 5 Michaels in the same room. We had Michael Krause, Michael Camp, Michael Mankinder, who I'm going to introduce, myself, Michael, and I think there was even another Michael. So I want to welcome Michael Mankinder, if you could share where you are and a little bit about what you do relative to Earthstock, and thank you.
Our parents did that on purpose. We know what it means, but we try not to boast. I escaped Chicago after being part of the Chicago alternative music scene in the 80s. Left for Hollywood in 1998, thinking I could make a positive impact. Anyway, we're finding each other now. So Mankinder is devoted to building kinder communities for mankind, networking and collaboration for mutual thriving, strategies to strengthen mankind, media production and business development, reclaiming the joy and music of life. So we're feeling very harmonious with y'all. And I don't know if I'm going to be here in San Diego. I escaped Los Angeles in the beginning of 2022 down to San Diego. We've got some great movements and people down here. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing a local thing in California or out there with you guys in Colorado, but it's an honor to know y'all.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Michael. Okay, so I'm going to continue to go through the list. I see we have Deanna Sunstar. Deanna also amazingly lives in Crestone. She's been holding it down, has been doing amazing work. And now, you know, I love doing these meetings. I know it's very quick and everyone has a moment, but we can start to see how all the threads, all these spokes of this sacred hoop start to come together of traditional knowledge, indigenous communities, arts and culture, media, food and water, regenerative agriculture, green technology, things like midwifing and birthing and the spiritual work that goes into this. So I'd like to welcome from Crestone, Colorado, Deanna Sunstar.
Oh my goodness, I've lived here in the same location on the edge of the wilderness for 34 years. And my offering is the explanation of the entry gates a human goes through from spirit into form, meaning conception, gestation, birth, and bonding. Pre and perinatal understanding of how infant psychology forms, in contrast and comparison to indigenous birth wisdom, will be described, all of which is based on a documentary I made about this, where Bruce Lipton is the main speaker. And when it came out, it was ahead of its time, and it was a bit hard for people to grasp. And now people get it easy peasy. And it's quite a thing we humans go through as we enter from spirit into form. So that's my offering. I bow in gratitude to all the people here and all that they represent to save our planet.
All right. Well, what am I doing in the regenerative sphere? I've been a repurposing I'm a natural builder, but it's not exclusive to what's natural. It's things that are found. So if anything, you go to the Habitat store to get your windows. You kind of hard to get into making your own glass, but I'm working on that too. So um, I range from high tech to low tech in my work. Just to give you a little bit of a background, I spent 4 years in the Navy as a boiler technician. And during that period of time, I learned a whole lot about, let's just say, the physics of energy. So I'm an energy researcher, and I could say a lot more about that. But for now, it's just working on the residential level, creating shelter, uh, simple shelter. I've worked on 5,000 square foot mansions and stuff like that, but I don't. That's not. I'm just not interested in building castles for elites and making sure that people have the basics taken care of.
Great. Let's if we could do this, not to interrupt you. There's a few more people we have to introduce.
Sure.
I want to make sure I introduce Carol Sue. She's in Belize, and Carol Sue's organizing an event at a location down there, kind of a micro Earthstock hub, which many people who aren't going to be in Crestone. So I want to introduce Carol Sue just for a very to the point update about what's happening on the ground there. And it's nice to meet you, Steve. I'm actually working in Crestone with Michael Bertine, who's designed legacy level places around the world with biomimicry. Actually, where we're going to be is the Blazing Mountain Spiritual Buddhist Retreat Center. Accommodates 125 people with a huge shrine room. And it was the center for the Naropa Institute from Boulder and Chogyam Trungpa. So part of coming to Crestone is we're going to go and participate in natural building, earth ships, straw bale, hempcrete. It's not sitting in a room for 7 days. We're going to get people's hands in the dirt. We're going to have ceremony. So I hope that you can make it, because Crestone is one of the most greenest building embracing counties in the whole country. I mean, if you think about it, they're building houses out of it. So thank you for taking time to come on the call.
And we're planning on doing right now all 7 days, but it's not in stone. But definitely the Sunday drumming.
Great. And I want to compliment you too, because you also brought some great people and organizations to the event, like members of Pachamama Alliance, and also Patricia from Brazil, who actually is feeling like she was organizing an event in Brazil, but she decided she wants to be with us in Crestone. So again, very dynamic. We just have a few minutes left. I wanted to introduce amazing Asia to come on and just share a little bit about yourself, and most importantly than just sharing our stories, this is about onboarding. This is about production and logistics. Now is the time to ask the questions. And also I want to make sure I haven't seen other people joining the platforms from these calls on Facebook, WhatsApp, or Telegram. I'm going to ask Tina Marie to you repost them, because besides trying to fit an elephant through a keyhole in 60 to 90 minutes on a Tuesday night, we have to be in communication. And I know people are busy, but this kind of event takes coherence and focus and organization and harmonizing even before the event starts. So welcome, amazing Asia.
Hi, thank you. I just stepped out of my car so I can talk to you, because I'm always driving when I talk. So thank you everybody for being here. My name is Aza. I also go by Heidi, and I am a dance movement therapist. I'm a dancer. I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a body worker, and I'm offering a workshop called Primal Connections that combines expressive arts therapy with body work, hypnosis, and ritual. I also just finished writing a book called Unite and Thrive, 11 Ascension Tools for the Sacred Warrior. And I am very interested in using all kinds of alternative remedies, especially ritual and dance and movement and connecting to nature to create the new world. So I know we're very short on time, so I'll just leave it at that. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
So going down the list, I want to welcome, I see, Nadim Chowdhury, a brother who I met actually in Crestone. I believe it was at the Mother Tree Festival. And one of the things is we have a lot of local amazing people here in Crestone that are going to be doing work. Peter May actually does work with feeding the mycelial network of the forest and doing a concert using didgeridoo and other instruments to stimulate the mycelial web. And there's a whole body of research that came out about music and drumming and their effect on the mycelial network of a forest. And as you know, we're all part of this human mycelial network, bridging nature with humanity, and as our brother Marcello said, with the cosmos. So I want to welcome our brother Nadim.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you and Peter and some other amazing individuals at the Mother Tree Festival last summer. Excited to be a part of this summit this summer. And I'm offering a presentation on what, not going to get into it in this conversation here, but it's a presentation on the current simulation that we're in our current reality and the primary relationship with consciousness and reality. And in terms of connection, Aza and I actually had connected last Sunday. Me being in the Bronx, her being from Brooklyn, we got a chance to connect in this big city, and it was wonderful to be able to connect with her and look forward to connecting with her further. And also, also, well, I'm very excited. As much as I am excited for this upcoming summit, I'm also more excited for what's coming after the summit, because all of us aren't just getting in for like a whole long week and then splitting apart for another 3 or 4 months and not having any connection or communication or any action events. So something like what Kumiko had mentioned in this call was very inspiring for me personally, because it makes me want to reach out to someone like Kumiko and connect with that individual and see if someone like me and Aza, who've recently connected, can join this mycelial network of human interconnectivity as we build on this new world. So again, thank you. Great connecting with you all in this call, and look forward to connecting with you all further down, and hopefully seeing you all in the summit.
Amazing, absolutely. So before we go on, we're almost to the end, and I appreciate everyone's patience. I will say I want to post this video, because when people see these videos, they just get activated, because we live in the information saturation generation where there's so many things happening, so many impulses, so many media, so many Zoom calls. So I want to say, from the galactic to the human to the animal to the earthly mycelial network to the elementals. And again, we just had the benefit of Adam being here this weekend, doing some work. We're actually working on clearing up a lot of energy, doing work with some of the various things that are here, but the way is being made. So before we get towards concluding, I just want to make sure I'm looking at the list that everyone has had their voice heard. I know our brother Felipe from Gaia Union had another call come up, but is there anyone who hasn't had a chance to speak? And then we'll do the closing for our meeting this week.
Yes, Michael, thank you so much. I completely twinked out. What I'd like to share is that the Sparkling Conversations and the rest of the summit is being, we're being gifted by Ubiquity University. Let me read to you what they're saying. Ubiquity University is the producer of Humanity Rising. And what they're saying is that credits towards a graduate degree at Ubiquity University are available for participants in the Earthstock Summit upon completion of a post paper related to your experience of the summit. For more information, and they've given that, and that will be posted. Yes, Lisa, yes, isn't that wonderful?
I do want to just respond to that. You know, part of the ethos or the mission of Earthstock Summit and all of our work, because again, this isn't about me. This isn't about just one event. This is about another evolutionary step in our process. But a lot of people, you know, say, what is regenerative? And I had mentioned before, right now, with so much divisiveness in the world, we have millennials, we have baby boomers, we have Generation X, Generation Z, now we have Generation Glow of so we had an epiphany the other day. Not only the idea of regeneration includes bringing the sacred hoop together. So whether your focus is spirituality, arts and culture, traditional indigenous or spiritual knowledge, whether it's health and wellness of spirit, mind, and body, whether it's about green technology and sustainability, whether it's about things like food and water security, regenerative agriculture, maybe you work specifically in media, maybe you're involved in things around economics, alternative economics, which might be very prevalent right now with the BRICS act coming up in the next few months, where Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and Iran are pulling out of the US dollar as the global currency for petroleum, which is going to have profound global economic impact. So whatever area you work in, governance, the idea of sociocracy, sitting in the council, we no longer can afford someone at the top of the pyramid making all the decisions for the rest. We can no longer afford the 1% of the world owning 90% of the world's wealth. So these are all the things that we're not just talking about. We're bringing together the innovative minds, the solutionaries, the visionaries, artists to come together. And I want to say, he's not on the call, but our brother Haidai from Bali is doing regenerative education all throughout Asia, funded by the empire, the government in Bali. But Shannon is bringing such an essential piece, because part of it is we have to look at how we can recreate and re-midwife a more holistic educational system. And I know that is a huge part of what Ubiquity University is doing. It's no longer the mainstream predictive programming, brainwashing his story. We're now looking at his story, but let's look at her story and let's look at the whole story. So I just wanted to thank Shannon for all the amazing pieces she's brought to the table.
It's just a pleasure, Michael. It's so exciting to be a part of this. And I do want to mention that our first Sparkling Conversation that will actually open the summit is on education. So, and I have invited Connie to be a part of that conversation. Nothing like pressure, Connie. I'm sorry. But I want Andrew on the second day, because the second day has to do with Indigenous prophecies. And I'm changing it. It's not going to be ETs. It's going to be NHIs, which is non-human intelligences, which includes so much more than just whatever ETs are. So this is really important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to be able to bring this. Thank you so much, Michael.
Oh, of course. And thank you, everyone. You know, it's this teamwork that makes the dream work. And I will say that we've done all this so far. We have 2.5 months to go. in like 6 months. So this is just midwifing out of the collective consciousness of what wants to happen and express itself. And of course, a lot of it was accelerated and activated by the Eagle Condor work and the Eighth Fire. So again, every day we had the solar flares. I mean, every day the universe is conspiring to support us in this work. And when I was thinking about all these different generations, you know, men and women and different races and millennials and baby boomers and Generation Zers, you know, the whole idea is the regeneration is also all generations coming together to regenerate ourselves, our spirits, our minds, our bodies, and to regenerate our relationship with the planet and regenerate the earth. So we are the regeneration. So we're working on a song talking about my regeneration. We'll see what happens. So any last questions or thoughts? And I wanted to just offer Dana the opportunity to help us do some heart coherence and just kind of helping to ground some of the energy and electricity that we're all generating in the quantum field. So any other last questions, thoughts before we conclude with Dana Tomasino? But also, I just recently got the contacts of some of the original producers of Woodstock, who we want to invite them in because we can all, I think, can say for us, at least in North America, that Woodstock, and we're not comparing Earthstock to Woodstock, but it was a zeitgeist moment in history where arts and culture and consciousness, women rights, human rights, civil rights, the Back to the Land movement, the health food movement, like everything, the American Indian movement, the ghost dance, all these things happened in this, the anti-war movement, all happened then. And, you know, right now we're looking back 50 some odd years later and saying, how far have we come and how has these messages evolved and developed so that we can actually have a future. And right now we're in this time of the seventh generation. So thank you for saying that. And also there's other people who are coming in even as we speak right now to bring their superpowers. So that's why, again, very coherently getting people registered, sharing those invitations to participate. And I want to say the invitations to support that Lisa Ayers and Shannon helped to craft is very important because it's not like we have a huge grant. It's not like, you know, we have tons of money to do everything we need to. And every day, basically, miracles are happening. So with that, again, please onboard, get into one of the chat groups on Facebook, Telegram, and WhatsApp. It's in the link. And with that, I want to welcome back Dana Tomasino to do our closing so we can all drop in a little bit deeper right now. And thank you everyone for joining.
Okay, awesome. Michael, I'm going to do a little sound for us and some heart coherence. So let's just go ahead and drop into our heart centers. There's been a lot that's been shared. Let's focus on bringing our attention into our sacred hearts and breathing with our breath coming in and out, slowly and deeply through our hearts. And let's just sink into a state of gratitude, gratitude for all that's been shared here, for all that is evolving and coming together, all the co-creations that are happening and that will be happening, all of the support that we have both on earth and from our divine teams for this beautiful event, and really feeling that appreciation. And as you can see in my background here, imagine our heart energy going out and intersecting in these beautiful mandalas of intersecting waves, creating coherent interference patterns as we interact. So let's just hold that space, and I will do a little bit of sound for us. And I ask that the sound help to ground the highest frequencies of source light into this beautiful container and going out to our Earthstock event.